Hi everybody, this is Mr. Skelton with a few tips for learning the green belt song. We actually have quite a few people who are working right on the green belt and a few people that are just on the edge of being there. So I'm sure they're looking very forward to getting to that green belt. I want to talk about a couple little challenges with the green belt. One of the challenges with orange belt was simply getting fingers onto the string so we can change the sounds of the notes and the names of the notes that come out. We had a little confusion with that, and I apologize for that. When you put a finger on a string, it changes the letter name of the note that comes out. And maybe that was a little bit unclear in the book, so we'll try to fix that for the future. But in the meantime, what you need to know about Old MacDonald is it uses two strings. Not at the exact same time, but most of the notes are on the D string, and there are a couple notes that happen to be on the A string, and they always tend to be in the same place, so they're kind of predictable, right? And Old MacDonald is a song that most people know, so we should be able to kind of think ahead to those. Now I'm going to do this on violin. We have to remember that the blue tape for violin and viola is 3 fingers on the D string, and for cello happens to be 4 fingers, right? And you have tapes now. Just we want to get in the habit of using the correct finger. And by the way, when you put down, if I say 3 fingers or 3rd finger, it's always the highest one that you hear the most. So this note will sound exactly the same as it will if I take these other 2 away. So if you're putting all 3 fingers, if I say 3 fingers and you're putting all 3 fingers down, or if you just put your 3rd finger down, either one of those is fine, right? They both have their place in technique. Okay, so to make it a little easier, I'm going to say it in terms of the colors, and this is why I chose the colors I did, so that I don't have to constantly go back and forth between saying, oh, it's three fingers for this instrument and 4 fingers for that. So I'm going to be saying it in terms of colors. Now, the first thing I want to do, I'm going to do the first line for you. And I'm going to do it by telling you the colors and the string that I'm on at the time. Okay, so I go out, up, on. So I'm starting on the blue tape on the D string. Right? Again, most of the notes are on the D string. I'm going to pluck on the D string. I find it here, good dogs always eat, right? For violin, or cats get dogs angry for viola. If I'm doing cello, all dogs go crazy. I look for that D string. Okay, so here's with the colors: blue, 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 black, red, red, black. And this is where I come over to the A string for the red that's there. If you look in the book, the red is a little higher up than the previous red was. And we go red, red, black, black, and now we have a blue again, but it's lower than what you just played. So we have to go to the lower string, the D string, to play it. So this is blue on the D string. Blue. Okay? Now, if I do this with the words that are there, then it should sound exactly the same, just with different words. Old MacDonald had a farm. And normally we would say E-I-E-I-O. I've changed it to B-B-A-A-G, and the reason is because those are the names of the notes you're playing. So we get a little opportunity to learn those notes while we're at it. So instead of E-I-E-I-O, I put my first finger on the A string, and B, B, then I pick it up for A, A, which should make sense. It's the A string. And then the G is the 3 fingers, or the blue tape, on the D string. G. Okay? So let me do that line. Old MacDonald had a farm. Now, A string, first finger. B, B, A, A, D string, blue, G. There's a little connector for the word and in English is a connecting word, right? It connects other words together in sort of a list. And that's your open D, the and then you play exactly the same thing, just the words are a little different. On that farm he had a note, and then A string, first finger, the red tape. B, B, A, and then we go back to the blue and the D string for G. And then we got a whole bunch of D's and G's. So G being the blue tape. Okay, so this is all on the D string. We're going between open and blue tape. So the lower sound is the open D. The higher sound you're going to hear happens to be with the blue tape. With a G, G here, and a G, G there. All right, and then we get to stay on that same note. So you hold down nice and firm on that blue tape. Here a G, there a G, everywhere a G, G. And then guess what? We do the first line exactly the same way we did at the beginning. Old MacDonald had a farm. And then red tape, A string. B, B, A. Then blue tape on the D string, G. Okay, so I hope that helps. I don't have tapes on my instrument, so it wouldn't really help to see my fingers on there. But if you think about what the colors I'm doing, we are going to get in the habit of putting the same finger every time. If it's blue tape, it'll always be a third finger for violin or viola, or a fourth finger for cello. If it's a red tape, it's always going to be your pointer finger, right? And we always have 1, 2, here we are, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? We only use the 4 fingers anyway. So the middle finger doesn't get a tape rate yet. It will later on. So we don't use it. I mean, it's okay if it touches the string when your third finger's down or your fourth finger's down. It's okay. Don't let it touch the string when your first finger's down, because then you won't. Then that's what you'll hear. We always hear the highest number that we put down. And then again, if that sounds confusing to you, just try to focus on the one that's supposed to be there, and that will be a big help. Okay, I'm going to make a separate video just so I can keep the amount of time low. I'll make a separate video with the bow, so you can go back and forth between them.